And it's a very good morning to the Gelding on a feature race day at Caulfield, the Sir Rupert Clark Stakes Day. Gelding, a big day of racing, but once again, no crowds.
Yes, Professor. Good morning, listeners. Good morning to yourself, Professor. The old Marlborough Stakes Day. This used to be on show day, the Thursday show day, this race. The Sir Rupert Clark Stakes, it's now called. So we can thank Jeff Kennett for that, for cancelling show day. On us all many years ago, Professor, but yes, again, no crowds. And I suppose typically a day we might have been there, Professor, but this would have been normally preliminary final day if the footy had been at the MCG.
Yes, if. A very big if.
And good to see you wearing the team colours again, Professor.
Yes, go the D's.
Have you had red and blue on all week?
Yes.
Have you got enough to go the 2-week period of different clothes, or do they have to get a washing?
Oh, no, I have to get a washing, I think.
Okay. I'll be barracking for Morty Boy and yourself next Saturday night, Professor, but we'll talk more about that next Saturday.
Yeah, we will. Gelding, 9 races on the card.
Yes.
The track is rated a good 4 at the moment. There's plenty of wind around though, so that might dry out. With the rail out 6 metres.
Well, Professor, as we know, we're in Caulfield South. We got some very heavy rain last night, round about midnight. So I'm thinking it might be a good 4. Well, yeah, it might be a good 4, but on the wetter side of a good 4, because there was plenty of rain around last night, Professor, which would have given the track a nice little wetting. So, and with the rail out 6 metres, Professor, again, I would say look for the pattern of racing early, but I would be looking at some front runners and maybe on pace runners early on in the meeting, Professor.
Okay, Gelding, what are your top 2 tips for today's race meeting?
First one, Professor, I like one in race 4. Number 1, Alpine Edge. Tony Edmonds from Queensland's brought this horse down. Craig Williams to ride. A better than ready horse. 6 starts, Professor, for what have we got here? 6 starts for 3 wins and 2 seconds, Professor. That'll do me. First up, 2 wins for out of 2 starts. Race well last start in August up in the Queensland during the carnival, Professor. So round about the good each way odds of about $4.20, $4.50, Professor. I thought we might have Alpine Edge there.
Well, Gelding, as long as you don't get willowed, you'll be right.
Hopefully I won't get willowed. And look, this is a good 3-year-old colts race, so look for something that's shown a bit of form. I like Light Saber, probably be leading. Hopefully Alpine Edge could sit on it. But I do notice that you like one down a bit lower in the weights, Professor.
Yes, I thought the threat to Alpine Edge was Forsake Timpson. It's got a withering finish, Gelding. I did some watching a film yesterday afternoon, and believe you me, if it gets a little bit of room and it's within striking distance, it will go past anything that's in front of it. Okay,
one to watch, Professor. And with that, maybe we might get a bit juicier odds on Alpine Edge. The more competition.
Yes, and Gelding, it wouldn't do the viewers harm to take the Quinella of 1 and 8.
No, certainly could be something there in that, Professor.
Okay, Gelding, what's your other red hot tip?
My second bet. Look, as you well know, we're both favourite of the Mick Price and Kent Jr.'s stable. And again, we were having a bo peep at something else coming out of the stable very soon. but I like race 6, number 3, Anna Vista. This 4-year-old reliable man mare, had its second up. Now, second up, it's had 2 starts and only finished the second, Professor. But, geez, I liked its last run when it was just beaten by a long neck in a mare's race. They're beaten by Turath, which is a horse that we've been following and been very, very good to us. And I just like the way Anna Vista was coming home, Professor. Look, maybe a bit short, round about the $2. But as you well know, it's a leg like that in a parlay bet certainly helps you when you're doubling the size of your bet, Professor. So, look, I like this Mick Price trained horse, starting from barrier 5, but I think in there with every chance, Professor.
All right, Gelding.
Your tips?
Yeah, Gelding. I like race 5, the unfortunately named Pincher Poo Plate.
The Pincher Poo Plate?
Yeah.
What's Pincher Poo, Professor?
I don't know, and I don't want to know, Gelding.
I thought you might have Googled it before we started, Professor.
I just looked at that and thought, what an unfortunate name for a race.
If you won the race, Professor, how would you like a nice photo of your horse in there, saying winning the time on it, Pincher Poo Plate?
Yes. Let's see if it's named that next year, Gelding. I don't think it'll go up there with the Sir Rupert Clarke Stakes.
No, even though that is a race that's had many changes, Professor.
Yes, it has. All right, this race is over 1,000 metres, Gelding, so it's looking for something with a bit of toe. I like horse 3, Ranveer. It's had 2 starts for a win and a place. So the win rating's 50%. The place ratings are very nice, 100%. It's won over the distance, Gelding. It's lightly raced.
Very lightly raced.
Yeah, first up, a win and a place, so it can't be faulted there. Luke Curry in the saddle, and we don't often talk about Matt Laurie as a trainer, but he's getting quite a nice stable of horses behind him.
Yeah, building up quite well, Matt Laurie. So when he brings them to town, you know that they're certainly got a good chance. Trained down at Mornington, a horse only been beaten by Profiteer, which started favourite in the Golden Slipper, Professor. So it was beaten by a pretty smart one of Mick Price's early. So that's pretty good form. If it hadn't run in the Profiteer, you could be looking at a horse having two wins. Luke Curry, first ride, takes over from Ben Mellon that's rode the horse in that's last start.
There's a pattern in my selections today, Gelding, because the horse that I've picked next also has a replaced rider from the what did we call it? Jockey Gate or Mornington Gate or Airbnb Gate. There was a maybe we'll touch on that a bit later in the show, Professor. Yeah, there was a few whacks handed out by Judge Bowman during the week, Gelding. Let's get the tips now for everyone, and then maybe we'll make comment in relation to that. All right, Gelding. Just going back to Ranveer, when I put the bets on, it was showing odds of $4.20 fixed, so that's a pretty good return for each way punters. Oh, that's in a small field, Professor. That's a very, very good each way bet. Yes, Gelding. All right, my second selection is in the race. It's the feature race, the Sir Rupert Clarke Stakes over 1,400 metres, race 8. Got to have a bet in the Group 1 race. Oh, yes, always. It's a bit of a tradition for us, Professor. Yes, and I have gone for a lightweight because you know something about the form of the winners of this race, Gelding. Well, ever since this has been the Victorian Handicap, the Marlborough Cup race, you get a sensational big field, so which is normally good. So the horses are that even. It normally favours, being a handicap,
the lighter weight horses, Professor, and I noticed that you've gone for a nice lightweight. As you well know, the top two in Behemoth and Probabeel are horses that we've backed before and certainly do like, but you like?
I like horse 17, Gelding, the lightest weight of all. I'm thunderstruck.
Yes, 52 kilos, Professor.
Yeah, coming out of barrier 16 after the scratching, currently showing $5.50 and $2.20 fixed. It's had 6 starts for 4 wins and a placing.
Oh, as you said earlier, Professor, this is a horse with a big boom on, isn't it?
Yes.
I'm thunderstruck. Mick Price trained again and certainly picked some big raps on some of the horses coming out of that stable.
Yeah,
And
Gelding.
the jockey?
Yeah, well, for its last 2 wins, it was Jamie Carr. But of course,
she's having a slight rest, isn't she?
She is having a break from racing at the moment.
Right.
And Guy McNeil's in the saddle. He's in career form, Gelding. His career win rate's 10%, but over his last 50, it's 16%. And the same for Mick Price and Michael Kent Jr. Their career win rating is 16%, but over their last 50, it's up to 22%. So there's plenty to like about this horse.
And $8 in the paper, Professor.
Oh, down to $5.50 now, Gelding.
Oh, a lot of confidence. A lot of confidence in there then, Professor. A lot of people on board now that it's got to run.
Yeah.
So that's
a
fantastic each way bet, Professor.
Yeah. So,
I am worried about the top 2 though. Behemoth trying to win the race again, won it last year. And as you well know, Probabeel is one of my favourite type of horses.
Yeah. But hey, form and history tell us that it's going to be a lighter weight winner.
Oh, Professor, I like it. I do like it. I'm keen. You've got me excited about. I might have the Akadaka record, Hell's Bells playing in the background or something.
Oh, what about Thunderstruck?
Thunderstruck, yes, we'll get that going.
You can play that one as well.
Yeah, well, I think it's on the Hell's Bells album.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh, well, we'll like that. Now, Professor, should we get on the parlay or talk about Jockeygate first?
Well, before we go to either of those, Gelding, I had a contribution from one of our new viewers, Jack from Richmond.
Oh yes,
not Jack Rewald from Richmond. Jack from Richmond.
Not number 8.
No, not number 8, Gelding.
Who's the most famous number 8 of Richmond, Professor?
Ooh, no.
Dick Clay.
Ooh, who else?
Michael Roach.
Yes, Disco.
One of our all-time favourite players, Michael Roach, apart from Richo. He's number 12. So
how's that for a trifecta for number 8, Gelding? You'd struggle to get a better number 8 trifecta than that, wouldn't you? Dick Clay, Michael Roach, Jack Rewald.
All very, very good players for the Richmond Footy Club.
Exceptionally talented, Gelding.
So what does number 8 from Richmond say, Professor?
Go on.
Jack.
Oh,
well,
right.
Said...
I thought you were going to give me a quote from the Jack Rewald.
No.
So Jack,
what does our Jack of Richmond say?
We were talking during the week about backing each way, Gelding.
Yeah.
And he gave me a saying. Backing each way means you halve your winning bets but doubles your losses.
Yes, I like it. Look, there's many people that don't like each way backing, and with the staking of all that, there's a lot of people that take 2 horses in each race rather to win, rather to do that. But look, a lot can happen during races, Professor, and if you're around about the $4, and hopefully what I'll say about it and why I like it so much is that, yeah, it's about keeping your money alive and, investing and things like that. And as one of our greats used to say, $1.90 place was a break-even bet, wasn't it?
Yes.
As you can see from the mug, Paul Gamble, very intelligent man, but I still don't know how he figured that one out. $1.90 was an even money. But you can have a day where things go wrong. The ride's a bit off, the track's a bit off, horse got bumped or something like that. There's plenty of things that can go wrong in a race, Professor. And, we're like even last week, we had a good run of seconds last week. So you don't do much damage to your bank. And, we got one winner, I think, in a couple of seconds. And you don't, you're still in the game, Professor.
That's right. Exactly right, Gelding.
So I know Jack's probably, now that you've let his persona out and things like that, he's a win better. He wants to take it all. But as I said, it's a long game, this punting, Professor.
It is, Gelding. We're in it for a long time, not a short time.
And if you want to do that, look, there's no right or wrong way. It all depends which way you feel comfortable with to try and to get a bank. As I said, we'll have plenty of professional punters that will back multiple horses to win. And we've done that ourselves. But then we look at it the other way. And if we're tipping, like I'm Thunderstruck is just a fantastic each way bet, Professor. Early at $5.50, $2.20 a place. Like if it has a bit of bad luck from the outside gate, it might flash home for second or third, and you're still showing a slight profit on the race.
Yes, Gelding, you're right.
But anyway.
All right, Gelding. Let's look
That's
at
the sermon for today, Professor.
The Gelding sermon. All right. The Professor's Parlay. Two legs out of three up last week.
Yes, the horse let us down yesterday.
The horse let us down again.
Yes.
All right, let's do one better.
But ran a place, Professor.
Yeah, we'll do one better this week, Gelding.
We will this week.
All right. Now, you and I, after discussing our Caulfield tips, couldn't come up with an agreed bet of the day at Caulfield, but we did come up with an agreed bet of the day at Randwick. So we're going to go race 7, horse 7, Very Elegant. It's a horse that we've had tremendous success with.
One to keep following, Professor.
And let's parlay that into the Penrith Panthers to beat the Parramatta Eels.
Nice one, Professor.
Yeah, Brian To'o is out with an ankle injury for the Panthers, but Nathan Cleary is the X factor, Gelding, and with Nathan Cleary running around, I think the Panthers will be just too powerful for the Eels, and they'll go through to play the Giraffes, Rabbitohs next week.
Wow. Well, that'll be a game, won't it?
It will. And let's parlay that into the Premier League. Manchester City currently sitting 5th to beat Southampton, currently sitting at 14th on the table. What I like about Man City is they've got the biggest goal difference in the Premier League at the moment with a +10 over 4 games. So Southampton showing -2. So there's a fair gap there. I'm sure that playing at home, City will have too many games for Southampton.
I like it, Professor. Excited. And the juicy odds of?
Okay, the parlay this week is showing 5-2 Gelding, so that shouldn't be sneezed at.
I like it, Professor. An even money chance in the horse race and the rugby and the soccer just to take us home.
Exactly right, Gelding. So that should be 3 wins, definitely.
Beautiful, Professor. I like it.
All right. Now, Jockey Gate.
Jockey Gate. Professor, you're in the legal field. Probably not in this field, but you do very well in it, I think, if you want. And I think you could make some good money from these jockeys because from an outsider, they failed to tell the stewards about Mark Zahra being in the house on the night. So they've been copped another 2 months, so they're out for 5 months now. If you were advising him, Professor, would you say this is completely unfair? You broke the rules, and you shouldn't get 3 months, and your loss of earning opportunity's been taken away from you, and then they add 5 months. or would you advise them just to, you did the crime, take the time?
Well, I see that Jamie Carr is appealing her added suspension. She's going to the Supreme Court, Gelding. Look, I'm not going to talk about the appeal at all, but
right,
it just seems to me there's only one person making any, or only a certain sort of people making any money out of this, Gelding.
the group of people that normally take something out of the pie.
Well, only bad things happen when you go to the Supreme Court, Gelding, that as Judge Bowman said during the week to some of the jockeys. So you realise that just because you appeal, the sentence can go up, not down.
I thought that, and you know what? I know we tweeted a bit about it and things like that. That wouldn't be a bad thing, if they say, you know what, they were a bit lenient on you, giving you 3 months and then 2 months. And if they whacked them with a year, that's something, I don't know, Professor. They were in the wrong. Why keep it in the news? You know what?
Yeah.
Just do your time, get back to track riding, try to bend some bridges with people that were disappointed in you, and just get on with your lives. This will, geez, the cost of a Supreme Court action, they've got their punishment. They know what they're going to miss out on. I would say if I were getting good advice, it would be take it and move on, and let's just get on with life. And
yeah. Well, Gelding, it's
who's like they can earn money outside, Professor. With this spring carnival going around, if they build a few bridges and apologise and things like that, who's to say they can't make money in advertising the races?
Or on TV, Gelding.
Exactly.
Commentating.
Exactly.
Do something with your time. Use it productively.
Exactly.
Think positively, Gelding. Make something out of, make a positive out of a negative.
Well, exactly, Professor. It's
they're only banned from racing, Gelding. That's all.
Well, that's it. They're not banned from making a livelihood anywhere else, Professor.
Exactly, Gelding. All right, Gelding.
Anyway, let's move on from that.
It's a watch this space, clearly.
Yeah.
All right, Gelding. Well, special edition of Sports Fan Radio coming up at 11 o'clock today. Today, yes, a special edition with Brett Phillips and Cooter talking about the US Open. I was trying to get Brett Phillips for tomorrow, but he can't do it tomorrow. So we're just doing a very quick one with him today, just to get his thoughts on the US Open.
Fantastic, Professor.
I know you'll be tuning in to get the gossip, Gelding.
Oh yes, Professor. I'll be about to hit the phone for some bets, and then we'll.
You'll need a double screen, Gelding, one for the racing and one for Sports Fan.
Yes, we'll be doing that. But looking forward to the racing, Professor. And just quickly on that, is it my turn or your turn?
I think it's your turn, Gelding.
That's my turn. Okay.
if that's incorrect, Gelding, I'll let you know.
No. You've always got to bowl that ball out there, Professor, just a test.
All right, Gelding, and regular Sports Fan on tomorrow at midday. Another lockdown special.
Yes. Maybe we could do one day and have a picnic.
Well, I thought you might have been unavailable tomorrow, Gelding, given that you can have a picnic for 5. Dips for 5.
Not really a picnic person, Professor.
Well, it's not the weather for picnics at the moment, is it?
Oh, I wouldn't have thought so. And
I wouldn't have thought that was Helen of South Caulfield's go either.
No, not saying Helen's go, the picnic. Likes their 3-course meal.
You can have a 3-course picnic, Gelding.
Yeah. Oh, well, if a 3-course picnic could be done well, she would do it well.
I've got no doubt about that.
Yeah, but I think we might wait. We've got a few commitments once the restaurants are open, Professor, and
You'll have them booked out, Gelding.
No, looking forward to it, Professor. It'd be good to get out of lockdown, I suppose. But
I tell you what, Gelding, I'm watching December, and the sports fan Christmas party's got to be at the Richmond Seafood Tavern again, doesn't it? After last year.
oh, yes. You just
I
say
don't-
yes.
I don't think anybody's going to complain, are they?
No. No, and
No, it was a
actually,
pretty good. It was a pretty good night, wasn't it?
it was a very good night, and some interesting stories. You know, can have. I've still got the Giraffes sports fan mug, and still to get my kerchief back from him. Actually.
All right, Gelding.
All right, Professor.
Until next Saturday, it's good luck.
And good punting.